And welcome back to another episode. We're so glad to have you here today. As you can see, I am sweating profusely because we are in the sweltering heat of Georgia right now following the 4th of July festivities. We had a lot of fun visiting with family while we were down here, and it was a pretty good trip. So here's the deal. We are headed back home, and it looks like it's 3:51 p.m. So we're not going to be able to make it all the way home, but we're going to try our best to make it as close to Nashville as we can. That way it's a much shorter drive in the morning to get home. So let's take a look at the trip as it shows. We are using the AC pretty hardcore, so it says we'll arrive at our first stop at 10%. So we're going to keep a close eye on that since it is so hot, but be there for about 20 minutes. And then a couple more stops. But essentially it says we would make it to Nashville at 1 a.m. So we will see how close we can get to Nashville, and if it is looking like 1 a.m., maybe we can make up some time. So let me show you what that route looks like on the big screen. So that's what the whole trip looks like. It's a pretty big haul. It says it's about 14 hours, 54 minutes, 879 miles. So that's not too bad actually with charging stops along the way. So we will see again how we do, how close can we get to Nashville. We will certainly find out. So far we have 1,073 miles. We've consumed 314 kilowatt hours, and we're at 293 watt hour per mile. That was with the trip down, 75 miles an hour the whole way down. I don't know that we're going to be as disciplined on the way home. So with that said, let's get this trip on the road. All right, so 121 miles to go, an hour and 38 minutes. Should be there at 5:40 p.m. at 4 o'clock now. Let's see how we do. Hey, Walt, did you have a good time? Did we go to the beach? Did you build a sandcastle? Wow. Did you have a really good time? Yeah. Cool. Hi, bud. Did you have fun? Good talk. So we arrived and about 11%, 5:35. We're actually gonna pull over and get something to eat while we're charging. It turns out that this is actually a V3 charger. Be here for about 20 minutes and then on to Macon, Georgia for another stop for another 20 minutes. So we'll get plugged in and see how it does. Yeah, definitely a V3, a lot smaller. Okay. Alright, I think the way that the ramp up plan works is we got to be up to like 13 or 14 or 12 or something like that. So we'll see. I've also got the AC running because it is 97 degrees. It is a scorcher, so we're not turning that off. So let's see how quick we can get this V3 charger to go. Oh, here comes 1,000 miles an hour. Come on, do it. Oh, we did it. 250. All right. It peaked for 1 second. There it is. That is so awesome. V3. All right, almost forgot to tell you. 27.5 miles, 344 miles. We were doing 80 and 44 kilowatt hours consumed. All right, so we are charged. It says we'll arrive at, oh my goodness, 19%. I wish I would have been paying more attention, but that's okay. We will not have any issues driving a little bit faster. So, 108 miles, an hour and a half, 7:35 arrival, and we will see how we do. And that charging session cost $5.46, 71%. We are getting ready to pull into the supercharger. Did 107.7 miles, an hour 28. Sorry about that. 38 kilowatt hour, 354 watt hour per mile. I will not tell you how fast we were going on that last stint. Still have 3/10 to go. Just be there in a minute. 18% and projected 18, of course. So here for 20 minutes. Then off to Ackworth, Georgia for a 30-minute stop at 9:30 p.m. So we'll get plugged in and see how she looks. It says 20 minutes still. Let's make sure she ramps up all right. Nice and quick ramp. Good. About 140 kilowatt. Okay, so let's look. We've got Ackworth up next. Just trying to figure out how much charge we'll have. So we'll give it about 20 minutes. Charge her up. Pretty decent supercharger here, actually. Looks pretty much brand new. There's a good number of stations. You can see them all the way back there. Nice. I've seen a lot of pull-ins, so you can just pull straight in. We ended up accidentally pulling into one on the last stop, but this one appears pretty new. The last one was brand new as well, which is encouraging because seeing these pop up more and more around is awesome. Good location though. There's a lot around here. If you need a rental car, they've got a million of them here because there's a pandemic going on. And yeah, some places to eat. One of the things also that was crossing my mind on that last stop was, right now with the way that things are going, it's really hard to find places that are open, and understandably, of course, but just think about that for a minute. So if there's not a gas station right next to your supercharger, it's going to be hard to find a restroom. So something to keep in mind when you're planning your trip. See what's at the destinations where your superchargers are, and make sure that it's got something there. If not, just try to plan ahead of time so you can plan your restroom breaks around the amenities of the superchargers. Hey, what do you think? Are we charging up? Yeah. Hey, did you have chicken nuggets? Yeah. You having fun?
I'm not fun.
Are you having fun too?
Yes.
Look at you two.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'm not fun. So yeah, just stay behind us.
Hey, who's Jack?
He's
There he is. Where's Walt?
there.
There he is. Where's Daddy? There he is. All right, so we are charged up. Should arrive at 18%. It just stopped. We're actually going to hit Chattanooga up to Nashville and then over. It seems more direct this way, but this is all highway. This is highway, but this stretch right here. So I'm not sure what that's all about. So we'll update on that later. But sometime around Chattanooga and after is where we're going to get a hotel anyways for the night. So we will unplug. We got $4.68. Should be our next stop at 9:30 at 19%. So we'll see how we do. 108 miles, 1 hour and 35 minutes, 9:30. All right, so we arrived, 9:29, 19%, 111 miles, 35 kilowatt hours, and 317 watt hour per mile. Now, it wants us to charge for 55 minutes to make it to Nashville, which we are not doing. So let's get plugged in and talk about it. Uh-oh, that's not good. Uh-oh. All right, let's try another one. Okay, so we'll let this ramp up, but it is 9:32. Now Tennessee is an hour behind us, so it's 8:32 there, but we will then go back another hour the other way, so for all intents and purposes it's 9:32. So we can make it another 2 hours or so, and that includes however much time we have to stay here. Charge rate at 115 is not very great. This is not a very good station apparently. Anyways, let's see. So all right, so basically we can make it to Chattanooga at least, and either stop in Chattanooga, or if we've got it in us, make it all the way. I think it's Murfreesboro, is that right? I hope I said that right. Or Manchester. Okay, so Manchester's really where we want to go, so let's see what happens. It's 124 miles. That's better. Let's see, it says 25 minutes to charge to get there, so that's what we're going to do instead. So I'm going to look for a hotel there, hopefully one with a destination charger, and do that instead. No need to sit here for an hour charging. Even if we wanted to go all the way to Nashville, split it up, speed up your charging, and that's it. So let's give this thing a charge, and I'll find a hotel and we will go from there. All right, so we had to make some adjustments, and we're actually going to be staying about an hour away in Dalton, which is just shy of Chattanooga. Not quite as far as we wanted to go, but hotels are very expensive last minute on 4th of July. I guess I understand that. So here's the thing, there's no wall charger there. So we need to make sure that we plan this out correctly. So we just need enough really to get to Chattanooga supercharger. Because if we look here, to get to Manchester, that would take, let's see, one more time now. One more time. To get to Manchester, it's 124 miles away. I'd like to have enough charge to make it there. So right now it says 10 more minutes if we drove straight, but we need some extra juice so that when we wake up in the morning, if we've lost probably a couple percent overnight. So we'll probably charge up to 20% to get to Manchester, and then we will hit up Dalton and have enough juice to get to the Manchester charger in the morning. So that's what we will do. Give it about, oh, I don't know, 10 or 15 more minutes, and then we will hit the road. All right, charging session, $6.76, 80%, which gets us to Manchester at 16%. Again, we're staying in a hotel tonight, so we will not be arriving at any of this here. But if we hit in the Hampton Inn, just shy, we should get there at 56% and 57 miles, 50 minutes at 10:50 p.m. So we will see how we do. I'm going to unplug and we will hit the road. right, so we made it. It is 10:48, a couple minutes ahead of schedule. 57.1 miles, 19 kilowatt hours, 327 watt hour per mile. So for the whole trip so far, we're at 305 watt hour per mile average, 450 kilowatt hours with 1,475 miles. With, let's see what we have left. All right, so it keeps doing this. It's so funky.
Onto Market Street.
It wants us to go like straight up and through. We're not doing that. We're gonna come all the way over to Nashville and up to Louisville. So we'll figure that out. But another 8 hours or so to go with charging, 448 miles total. So, but if I change this for now, this is the charger that we said we wanted to have enough juice to get to.
Now turn left onto Market Street.
We left with having up to 16. We're down 1%, so 15%. So no problem. We will check that in the morning and see. We'll see if how much we lose overnight just being out here. I am going to try to find an outlet to plug into though if I can. So we'll see how it goes. And good morning. We're about to hit the road, so we've got a quick trip to Manchester to top off so we can make it to Nashville. And so we will do that. I do want to show you something though. Last night at the hotel, again, make sure you ask permission. But because we always bring an extension cord, we were able to plug in, which is pretty cool. As you can see, we got the car plugged in. Parked up by the canopy, so that's nice. We ended up getting about 40 miles of range overnight. So, I mean, it's not going to change anything drastically, but that extra 40 miles is pretty nice. So we're going to unplug and hit the road and take a look at our route. All right, so again, it's making us go this weird route. So we just want to go to Manchester right here. All right, let's take a look. Should arrive at 26%, 96 miles, hour and 26 minutes, 9:38. So we will see how we do. All right, so navigation finally updated. It shows 2 more stops. However, wants to stop in Manchester for 55 minutes just to skip Nashville and go straight to Louisville. So what we're going to actually do is this charger in Nashville is a V3. Be way faster to use that than sit at Manchester for an hour. So what we're gonna do, if we remove charging stops, I'll show you what that looks like. So it says we can get there with 5% without stopping, but you'd have to stay below 65 miles an hour to reach it. Here's where some of the tools come in handy. If you look at energy consumption over 30 miles, based on your current efficiency, you can make it 96 miles, it says, and it is 95 miles away. So this is where you got to start figuring out how to play the game. We're going to stop in Manchester to top off, less than 10 minutes, just to get a quick boost, and then we'll hit Nashville and charge as much as we need to make it to Louisville. That should save a ton of time compared to 55 minutes in Manchester. So we'll put that to the test. Made it 95.9 miles, 30 kilowatt hours consumed, 308 watt hours per mile. So we've got a 10-minute charge here. We'll probably not do the full 10 because if we do, it says we'll get there at 24%, and that's not the point. All right, we are ramping up here.
What?
the way up. Okay. So it says -2%. So this is what we're going to keep an eye on. Once this hits maybe 12%, we're going to hit it. It's actually not very far distance wise. It's only I don't remember what it was. It's not 100 miles though. So probably 10% ish is when we'll leave. So less than 10 minutes I would expect. And then one more stop after Nashville, and that is Louisville. So Louisville, then home. All right, we just hit 12%. It was like 5 or 6 minutes. So we are going to do it. It says we'll be there in 56 minutes, 61 miles, 13%. That was $1.10. We made it. It is 9:33, 61.2 miles, 17 kilowatt hours consumed, 280 watt hour per mile, so not too terribly bad. V3 charger, so should be getting pretty fantastic speed. There's 240. And that's peak. Okay, so let's look at the route. So it wants us to stay here for 35 minutes to make it to Louisville for our final stop. So we'll get this thing charged up. Should be done in about 30 minutes or so, about 35 minutes. And we'll be ready to roll. All right, so just another minute. We'll be at 10% at arrival. So we will unplug them instead of waiting for whatever it is it's trying to get to. We're way slow, all this high up into the battery, so 39 kilowatt charge rate. We're at $6.05. We're gonna go ahead and unplug and should be there about 12:37 with, I'll wait till that says 10%. We'll see how we do. So 291 watt hour per mile, 52 kilowatt hours, 177.4 miles. We've got a 30-minute charge to make it home, so we'll get plugged in. Yeah, it is a full station, so yeah, I just got the alert. They're gonna limit you to 80%, so hopefully this picks up quickly and we don't have to share a cabinet for too long. That should get up to about 60 kilowatts, and it is way longer, of course, so we'll see what happens. Well, the dude next to me just unplugged. He threw a fit. Not much I can really do about that. When there's a full station, there's a full station. So anyways, here we go. Now we're ramping up. So here's the deal. It is charging so slow because it is completely full. So what we're gonna have to do is we've changed things up. We're actually going to, instead of charge all the way up here, we are going to make it to the south side of Indy and hit up that supercharger, which means we only have to be here for 10 more minutes instead of 30, charging at an incredibly slow speed. So we are going to charge this up to 10 or 12% and then hit the road and charge back up in Indy. So we'll get out of here shortly. All right, so we are charged up, $8.84 for this charging session, 65%. We should make it to the next supercharger at 11%. If we don't stop, we should be able to make it home at roughly 5%. So we'll keep an eye on that and decide if we're going to stop or not once we know what the deal is. So, all right, so here's what we're going to do. I have removed all charging stops. It says we can get there at 5%, but we have the warning to stay below 70 miles an hour to do that. So we're going to make our way up there and see how we're looking. If we can make it, we'll make it. If not, we have 2 lifelines. We've got this station here on the south side, but it is full. The one up in the Fishers area has plenty of availability, but it's a slower charger. So worst case, we could hit one of these 2, but we have plenty of time to figure out if we can be efficient enough to just make it home and not have to stop anymore. So if we're lucky, we'll make it there by 5 o'clock. So let's see what happens. And this is when you want autopilot right here. You don't have to do anything. Just put it in, just put it on, and let the car do it all for you. Makes this part of driving a little bit more tolerable. All right, just an update. We have about 40 miles to go. We're sitting at arrival at 7% estimated. 21% of battery remaining. Here's the thing, so 40 miles to go, and I keep checking out my charts to look at the projected range. 50 over the last 30 mile average, 52 over 15, and 49 over 5. So this is going to be so close. And then to add to there's a storm over Indy right now, so it's gonna be dicey, but I think we are just gonna keep a close eye on it. We have a secondary lifeline closer to home if we absolutely have to, but I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit. We're about to hit 465, which is a lot slower pace anyways, so I think we can make it. We're gonna give it a shot. Well, it's looking pretty good. We only got 11 miles to go, still projected at 7% battery left, which is great. We have 10% right now. We missed the rain, so we lucked out. So we'll be home here in just another 10 or 15 minutes, and we will wrap this trip up. We're officially home, did it, 6% arrival. Let's take a look at the numbers. All right, the last leg was 285 watt hour per mile, 42 kilowatt hours consumed, 146.2 miles. Total trip, 1,956 miles, 590 kilowatt hours consumed, and 302 watt hour per mile. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up for us on this 2-part trip down to Georgia/Florida for the 4th of July weekend. We had such a great time. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate you being here, and we'll catch you next time.